And recently I have made the choice to transition from smoking to vaping. It's very common that you find people trying to quit smoking and they can't. So what do? Do you just keep smoking and die potentially from something related to an illness of smoking? No, you make a healthier choice. It's common sense, but it's a hard thing to do. But there's a secret to it. It's more habitual than anything. So by smoking, you're just performing a habit of puffing on a cigarette over and over and over. And I found that switching to a vape prior to just actually cold turkey quit smoking, that crazy thing that everyone tries to do, switching to a vape is probably going to be my best bet, because I know that habits are pretty much who we are. Habits are everything about our daily lives. So if I want to change myself, I have to change my habits. And if I have a habit that has been embedded in me for over 10 years, then I need to replace it with something healthier if that option appears. And it just so happens that vaping is here, and that is a healthier option. There's some statistics here, and 95% safer vaping than smoking. People are 95% safer vaping than smoking. And like, this is telling you the cost of smoking. It's, if you smoke a full pack a day, you're spending like $2,500 a year. Vaping, it's cost around $650 a year. So, I mean, just think of the cost cuts that you're making. And then there's also studies that say that more than a third of the U.S. population are cigarette smokers. Smoking-related illnesses are for every 1 of 5 deaths in the U.S. alone. Smoking is known to cause damage to every organ in your body. Nearly 70% of smokers report they want to quit to lead a healthier lifestyle. Despite that, 42% don't end up quitting. They end up with no avail. So I've been trying to quit smoking, but I never started vaping. So now I feel like it's working, because the vaping, it's not even, it doesn't smell bad. There's no ashes. Like, how many people hate ashes in their car? Like, that drives me crazy, and I do it myself, but not anymore. With the vaping, it's clean. Crack your window a little bit, and you can vape all you want, and it still doesn't leave a stench on your car seats or on your clothes, or people don't say they smell you when you walk in the room because you are a cigarette smoker, and your breath doesn't stink like cigarette smoke. And so it's just feels like common sense to me to like make a healthier choice. I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle, and I know many of you are too. And I encourage you that if you are smoking cigarettes, like, I went out and bought the Juul, and the Juul works for me. And the thing I don't like about the handheld vape machines is that the mouthpiece on those, it seems like they just recirculate bacteria if you don't switch them out. And the Juul, it's kind of like made it a mandatory thing to switch out the mouthpiece. Every time you get a new pod, you get a new mouthpiece. So, I mean, with all the sickness and everything that people get and bacteria recirculated, I think that was a healthy and wise choice by Juul. So, shout out to them. But it's pretty awesome, and it's working for me, and I encourage you guys, if you haven't tried it, go pick up something to replace your cigarette smoking, whether it's nicotine gum or patches or even the Juul. So, yeah. Less harmful chemicals and toxins are used in e-cigarettes. From 0 milligrams upwards, you can control your intake. That's another thing about the Juul I like, is you can go and you can, like, I smoke menthol, so now I get a Juul menthol, and I can get 3 or 5% nicotine. So, like, right now I'm doing 5% because I recently came off cigarettes, so now I am probably next week going to go down to 3%. So I'm leveling myself down. I have more control. It's not just tobacco, and you don't have any control over what you put in your system. So, yeah, I just think it's awesome. And this opportunity allows people to make healthier choices and get off of the cigarettes, which are kind of disgusting. I think we would all agree, if we're being honest with each other, that cigarettes are freaking gross. And let me just read you a couple other things here. It says over 4,000 deadly toxins are in cigarettes. And in vaping, they are common ingredients found in food and plants. Also, cancer studies related to carcinogens. Carcinogens are like burnt. Okay, like they say, don't eat burnt food, like burnt hot dogs on the grill. Don't eat your steak well done, because those are carcinogens, the black crispiness around that. And then in the paper of the cigarettes, those are carcinogens. Okay, so those, and carcinogens are cancer-causing components. So I don't have the complete medical back history on that, but I know that there are many studies out there studying carcinogens. And if you think about it, you're putting carcinogens in you every single day when you're smoking the paper and the tobacco and the flame and all that craziness. Not to mention, it stinks. So, yeah, that's just my advice on smoking. I know the vaping is working for me, and I just went and I took a chance on it. I went and bought one, and bought the little starter kit, and I've been doing it ever since, and I don't smell like cigarette smoke anymore. I don't have cigarette breath anymore. I don't have to go outside in my house to smoke now. There's just so many benefits to it. It's crazy. My car, I only have to clean it once every 2 weeks instead of once every other day because of the ashes. So, yeah, I strongly encourage you guys to go out and find some other solution instead of just keep on smoking. I've had several family members die from cancer, and it's a concern. I don't want to further myself into that history line of death based upon smoking or lung cancer or whatnot. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that message, and thanks for listening.